Good morning. Good morning. So, of course, welcome back to my channel. It is, of course, another formal update on how things has been going with of my IVF and everything. Oh my gosh, guys, if I can just carry you guys along this crazy dramatic journey, you will be floored. But but I'm telling you guys, I have an update. So when I come back home, I will definitely, sit down and give you guys the full thing. But yeah, so I'm telling you, I am actually on my way right now to get my blood work done. Not sonogram, but blood work. But I will keep you guys posted on when I get there and like how things going and everything like that. Right. So bear with me. All right, I'll be back. So guys, I'm back. Oh man, so I think I'm just gonna take this time to give you guys like a full update on like what happened between last week and this week in terms of like, you know, my MRI and everything. So I know I told you guys in the last video that of course I have to schedule an MRI because my prolactin levels was really high, right? Cool, not a problem, you know. So but let me tell you guys. So when my doctor told me on November 30th that I had to get an MRI done of my pituitary glands so that way, you know, they can see, you know, what's going on, make sure I don't have a mass or anything like that, you know, it's causing for my prolactin levels to be really high because my hormone levels is, I guess, it's really out of whack probably. Right. So fast forward to this week. Now my appointment was scheduled for 12/8, which was Tuesday. Today is 12/9, right? And I'm telling you guys, I was literally sitting there like, okay, I got my appointment. Let me just do this. Let me just get this out of the way. All that good stuff. Right? On Monday, the 7th, I get a call from my radiology office, which is where I'm going to do the MRI. And they told me, we know we scheduled you 5 days ahead of the initial time that you called to give your insurance enough time to approve the pre-authorization, because I need a pre-authorization for my insurance in order for me to do my to do any type of high radiology type testings. So they called me, so we know you scheduled you 5 days in advance, but we haven't heard back from your insurance. Your pre-authorization is not even pending in the system. So I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's not pending? They said that we don't see anything. I said, are you serious? They go, yeah, so we may have to move your appointment. I said, I have to do this appointment. A lot of things is relying around this MRI. So I need to get this done. This is what I'm telling them. It needs to happen. So she said, I'm so sorry, but your doctor didn't put it in. I said, what do you mean my doctor didn't put it in? You guys were the ones to tell me that I need to schedule an MRI. So, and that you guys were gonna handle my pre-authorization. Why all of a sudden I'm hearing that is my doctor have to put in my pre? What? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Things is not adding up. Like, what is going on? You know? So here we are now, like, you know, trying to figure out what is the next steps. So she's like, oh, you need to call your doctor and tell him to put in a pre-authorization and expedite it. I said, okay, not a problem. I'll do that. Right? So she says to me that, you know, if you expedite it, maybe you can get it tomorrow and then you can come to your appointment. But my appointment was at 9 a.m. So she said, we know it's not going to happen at 9 a.m., but we're going to schedule it for 4 o'clock because that gives your doctor enough time, like the whole day, to get the pre-authorization. And I was like, so and you're saying that he can get it in the same day? Yes, he can get it in the same day. Cool, no problem. You guys are telling me great things. Like, you know, I'm just getting nothing but great things. Okay, no problem. I mean, besides the fact that my pre-authorization wasn't in, they're basically telling me that it's not a problem. I can get it the same day. I emailed my doctor now and I said, hey, I need this pre-authorization. I found out that you're the one that has to put it in. He said, well, the billing office is left for the day. Please call them tomorrow so they can take care of this. No problem. So I called, and then they said, I called, and then the next morning, as soon as I woke up, 8 o'clock in the morning, guys, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I even asked my doctor, because he responded to me right away. He was very communicative, but that's what I appreciate about him. And he said to me, I said, so when is my latest that I can get this MRI? He's like, by the end of this week. You cannot go past this week. I said, all right, no problem. And he's like, I don't want you to delay anything, your transfer, stuff like that. You can go past this week. I'm like, all right, cool. So we need to get this done, right? So the next day, 8 o'clock in the morning, I call up my the office, and I said to them, I said, listen, I found out that I don't have any pre-authorization in for me to get my MRI done, and my appointment is 4 o'clock today. They go, are you serious? We was not informed that you need a pre-authorization. I was like, oh, why weren't you informed? And it was, so it was a miscommunication, and so she told me on the phone, we're going to handle this right away for you. Great. Love it. Good news. She said, we'll keep you updated. Oh my goodness. She calls me back right away. She goes, okay, the office that you're going to is not under your network. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, so we got the pre-authorization approved. And mind you, in the beginning, before she told me, but because I have Blue Cross Blue Shield. So she's like, Blue Cross Blue Shield, they usually don't approve anything in a day, like in the same day. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep my appointment, and let's just hope and pray that you're going to get it the same day. That's all I told her. I'm going to stay positive. So she's like, okay, no problem. I'll keep you posted. Sounds good to me. I left it like that. I literally left it like that. So we hung up the phone, and she called me back, and she said to me, she said to me that, okay, so we got the pre-authorization, but it's not for the place that you are at, that you have your appointment for. I was like, what do you mean? Like, this, it caught me off guard, because I'm like, I have appointments set already, everything. She said, well, we have another place that is in your network, and it's, and I'm going to give you the phone number, call them and see if they have anything available, maybe today, everything. So mind you guys, I work. So in the midst of my job, I'm already like communicating to my boss, letting her know that I need to change this, I need to change this appointment. And I'm like sending her meeting requests and canceling meeting requests and adding meeting requests. And she's probably sitting there like, what the hell? Like, why is she, because I'm changing it, because I'm going based off of like what is corresponding throughout the day with these appointments. So next thing you know, I call up this place. They said, oh, we don't have no availability next week. I said, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I said, that's out of the question. So I called my office back. They have no availability this week. It has to be next week. She's like, well, let me talk to doctor. And I'm like, well, doctor, he said that you cannot, I have to get it done by the end of this week. I can't get it to next week. He's like, oh. She's like, oh, okay. Let me call back your insurance and see if we can get the pre-authorization for somewhere else. No problem. Sounds good to me. So she calls me and she get the pre-authorization for somewhere else, right? No, cool. So she get the pre-authorization now. And I said to her, for a different place. I called up that place. That place is in Brooklyn. Guys, I'm in Queens. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm in Queens, New York, or whatever. And I was like, okay, if I gotta go, I gotta go. It doesn't matter, right? So I called them, and that office on Google said it was temporarily closed, but they answered the phone. So I said, hey, I have an appointment, everything like that. And they said to me that, they said, yeah, no, I said, I want to set up an appointment. Do you guys have any availability? They said, we have today, but the doctor's only here before noon. And at that time, it was already like 11 o'clock, like 10 something. It was 10 something. So what we're gonna we can schedule it for tomorrow at 11 a.m. We can get this done. I said, oh, well, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So she said, well, you're gonna come to our Ridgewood office. So, that's where the appointment was. I said, no problem. Cool, I'll go. Because I said, but the Brooklyn office is temporary closed. She's like, yeah, that is permanent. Actually, it's not temporary. It's permanently closed. So you will go to our Ridgewood office. Sounds good to me. Sounds like a plan. We all set. So I call back. I answer all her questions. When they have to ask you everything about implants and things like that, because it's it's magnetic. High magnetic waves. Oh God. So I call back the lady at my IVF office, and I said, listen, all right, the appointment is scheduled. Everything. And she's like, wonderful news. I was like, yeah, that's great. As soon as I came off the phone with her, I got a call from my initial place that I had an appointment for. And they were like, oh, we see the pre-authorization is in the system, but it's for a different location. I was like, yeah, because you guys are not in my network. We are in your network. I said, what are you talking about? I heard that you guys were in my network. The lady called my insurance spoke to 3 different representatives, and they said that this place was not in my network. When I called them, they said, when they called me, they said we are in practically all of Blue Cross Blue Shield's networks. I'm like shaking my head. So I'm like, oh, I get to keep my appointment for today. So I called up my insurance now, just on my end, to confirm if they were in my network or not. Of course, I need to do my research myself. So I called up my insurance and I spoke to the lady on the phone, and she told me yes. I gave them the NPI number, which is like an identification number for these facilities, so your insurance could detect if they're in network or out of network. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, the insurance said yes. She went in, she spoke to the partner that they use, which is like Avocor, is like another company that they use for pre-authorization. Told them to change the address. They changed the address. Sounds good. Everything was all set in stone. I even called back up my radiology office and I said they changed the address, and I think it was like their headquarters. They changed the address. Please let me know if everything is set and okay in the system. Everything is good. You're set to go. All is well. Oh, cool. Not a problem. Not a problem. Why at 4:00 I showed up to my appointment, gave the guy my information, gave the guy my script from the doctor. Why did the guy tell me? I can't. Why did the guy tell me? Oh, he said, oh, did you change the address? I said, I got startled. Like, I was like, what do you mean? I'm so serious. I'm like, yeah, I changed the address. I gave them the NPI number. I gave them all the information that you guys have given me. And they went in and they said they updated. They said I was in the network, everything. Yeah, but nothing is here. I said, what do you mean nothing is there? I'm already at the appointment, guys. Already at the appointment. Already took the time off for work. Nothing was in the system. So now I had to go call back up the insurance now, on hold for like 30 minutes. Finally, somebody answers, and then I'm talking to them and I'm letting them know that, I'm here. They're saying that none of the information was updated, anything like that. Tell me why the girl says, well, the company may be in your network, but that specific location isn't. That didn't make any sense to me at all. It didn't make sense to the guy in the front desk. It didn't make sense to any of us. I was like, why is it that specific location is not in network, but a lot of them and the rest of them are? There's one umbrella company. It's one NPI number. That makes no sense. It made no sense at all. I was like, what kind of corrupt... Anyway, I was just like, let me not go there. Let me not go there. And I had to woosah out because at that point I was irritated. I already made my way, already took time off of work to get there. So I was just like, are you kidding me right now? So she put the pre-authorization, that's the woman I was speaking to. So she put the pre-authorization lady on the phone, and they're telling me, well, it would be out of network costs, and that how you haven't met any of your deductible for out of network, where we cover the rest of it. You've made your in-network deductible, so you will only be responsible for like 10%, compared to what the out-of-network would have been. And I'm like, oh my god. So all right, guys, I'm telling you right now, lucky thing I did not cancel that appointment that was the following day for 11 o'clock, because something in me told me wait and see what happens today at 4 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Even though I called and I confirmation after confirmation, when you still feel that unsurety in your system and in your mind, that was me. I still felt that unsurety. So I went to what did I do? Oh yeah. So I on the phone I was already irritated, and I said, okay guys, I'm just gonna go to the other place the next day. Mad because I made it over here. I need to get this MRI done today. Not today, this week. So they put the address of the location of my brother's name back to the place that I had initially. And then I was like, is it gonna be a problem when I go there tomorrow? Is it gonna be a problem? Am I gonna be able to go there and just get my appointment done? I don't want no problems. I made it clear I don't want no issues, because this year was a waste of my time. And they were apologizing and everything like that. So eventually I was just like, it is what it is, So I made it. Yeah. So that was that night. I came home, I was just like, did this really just happen today? Not only was I on a million phone calls, guys, I was on so much phone calls just trying to get this thing organized and situated. Then now I end up back in this whole thing. I'm just like, and you guys know, like I said, this MRI and the results of this MRI will be determination of if I move forward with my transfer. So, it's very crucial to me, and it was very important. It's very important, so for people to just be giving me the runaround and, have me just going all over the place, it really annoyed me. But, let's get on that positive note. Let's get on that positive note. So, that was yesterday. So this morning now, I went to my IVF clinic because I had to go for monitoring for blood work. I thought it was just blood work. So if you guys see my previous clip, I said blood work. When I got there, it was like, oh, you're doing Sato too. I'm like, see, I always prepare myself because you never know. I'm like, well, I'm doing a transfer. Every time I go, and I remember my previous transfers, every time we went, we did blood work. So I had a feeling. So now, that was that. My doctor was actually there. So, he asked me, he's like, what's happening? What happened? And, I told him, he's like, I apologize. He spoke to his staff. How come you guys did not get this pre-authorization for her? She had an appointment scheduled, and for her to go there yesterday and then that not work out. And then now, and I told him, I was like, I'm going to get it done today at 11 o'clock and it shouldn't be an issue and everything like that, So, and I didn't, guess what? And I didn't even realize it. I noticed it today. My nurse who's always been my nurse for all this time, I guess because I took all that time off, anything can happen within 6 months. My nurse is pregnant. And I'm looking at her and she's walking. I'm like, why is she walking like that? When I catch myself, because, it's winter time, people get, and I was like, oh my God, like, I was so excited for her. But, COVID, you can't even like hug nobody. I was so excited for her, and I just had to keep it like, oh my God, so yeah. So, that was that. And oh my gosh. So yes. So I get my sonogram. My doctor was the one who actually did the sonogram for me, and I love when he does my sonograms and stuff because he communicates with me. So my lining is at 11, which is great. They said when it's 7 millimeters or more, it's good. It's enough cushion for, and even he could tell. He said, oh, this lining looks healthy. Everything looks perfect. And, he checked my ovaries, my right and my left. I think my right ovaries had like 20 follicles in there. The left had 14. So I had a lot of follicles, but none of them were like maturing because I guess, I probably already ovulated. So, that was that, But yeah, I mean, everything went well. He said to me, look, hey, let's just hope that everything goes good, and we will work on scheduling your transfer, which I will give you guys a stay tuned date on that transfer. I want to see how the MRI goes, and of course how what the results of the MRI is, and what the doctor says, and if I'm even moving forward, because he gave me an anticipated date, but at the same time I don't want to get my hopes up on that date, and then whatever the MRI, and but I'm a positive thinker, and God is good, and I know everything is going to work out in his favor and his plan that he has for me. So just know that my transfer is, if God's willing and everything goes well, the transfer will be coming up. And I'm excited about it. I haven't started my progesterone yet, nothing like that. So, I gotta have time for that too. So, but, like I said, all depends on this MRI results. So I went to my MRI right after my appointment, and everything went great. The doctor was really nice. He made sure I was comfortable. It was like 45 minutes. The guy who was in front desk, having me fill out the paperwork, and him and I were laughing and everything. And he was telling me about like instances where he asked people if they got certain medals, like certain piercings and things like that, and then they would say no, because they wouldn't think certain things would trigger. And he said one time this lady was like, stop, she's screaming, and I was like, oh my God, like, he was telling me, and I was like, oh, but yes. But other than that, everything was good. The staff was nice. I didn't have a problem with it. It was crazy because that place that I went to was the first place that I called when my nurse told me I was approved, and that place said that they didn't have no appointments. But then when I called, I guess their sister company, which is what she gave me in Brooklyn, they said that that location was permanently closed, and they scheduled me for that day. You know, they scheduled me for the next day. And so I thought it was weird that one girl said, oh, we don't have no appointments, but then the other lady said, oh, we'll squeeze you in. I'm like, interesting. You know, and honestly, before I said that, I was like, you know, gotta leave it in your hands. You know, let this go the way it should go. You know, and that's that. You know, I know that things are gonna go well, and that things are gonna be positive, and it's gonna go in a good direction, and I have no doubts about it. I have no doubts whatsoever. I'm very, very positive thinking. So yeah. So guys, my nurse I end up coming home from my appointment. The doctor did tell me to drink a liter of water, because that's what's gonna help the contrast come out of my body, because I did have to do with and without contrast. So that's what so I definitely drank it. Basically 1 liter is like two of these bottles. So I drank my 2 bottles, and I'm still gonna be drinking more just to get the most of it out of my system, and then go from there. I'm like I said, I'm excited to see and what else is in store and everything like that. So I'm just leaving it like that, leaving it in God's hands, guys. That's all we gotta do. We gotta leave it in God's hands, So So guys, I will definitely have more updates to come, as you can see, with my MRI results. I do have to continue to take my S-trace. I take 2 milligrams 3 times a day. And I don't think they want me to increase that, because my lining gets thick so quick. And I'm already at like 11. So I think they're pretty happy with where I'm at. So, which is good. Really, really good. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I am on the verge of just doing this process, taking it one day at a time. And that's that. We'll see when I start the progesterone shots, and of course you guys will know, and I will let you know at the end of this video when the next video will be for my IVF, so you guys can look out for that. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Please, of course, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know anytime your girl post another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys.